Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This side Aman Singh here. So today's topic I will be discussing on DHCP Starvation Attack, and I have created 3 to 4 videos related to DHCP which you can go and watch on my channel. So let's begin this topic. So what is DHCP Starvation Attack? So a DHCP Starvation Attack occurs when an attacker floods the DHCP server with a large number of DHCP requests using a spoofed MAC address. So consider a scenario where an attacker is bringing his laptop and he is connecting in the network. Okay, and this attacker PC is capable of spoofing the MAC address. So what it does, it will generate a DHCP discover message in the network, and it will not generate a single message. It will keep on generating a DHCP discover messages with a different MAC addresses. When this DHCP spoof MAC address or fake MAC address request DHCP discover request comes to the L2 switch, what it does, it broadcasts, as the job of L2 switch is to broadcast. So this DHCP discover request reaches to the DHCP server, and the DHCP server job is to offer offer or reply with the IP address or DNS settings, other settings like default gateway, what should be the DNS IP, and other settings or in the DHCP offer reply packets. Okay, so as the client machine is like keep on generating a spoof MAC addresses, so the DHCP server is like keep on generating the DHCP offer as the DHCP discover requests are coming to DHCP server, and his DHCP server is doing his job. Okay, so this is the starvation attack. So attacker PC is generating a unwanted DHCP discover messages with a different MAC address, and the DHCP server is not able to understand, okay, this DHCP requests which are coming to the DHCP server are not the genuine one. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. The topic is impact. What will be the impact of this DHCP starvation attack? So the first impact is like user are unable to get the IP address, which is correct, right? So if you have configured a DHCP pool of 50 users and this attacker machine is capable of generating a DHCP discover request with different 50 MAC addresses, then in that scenario DHCP server will release each request and new IP addresses, and at the end the IP addresses pool will be over. So when the genuine user is asking for the IP address to DHCP server, he will not be able to do his job. Okay. So what, as per the second point I have written DOS on the network. So it's nothing but denial of services. DHCP server is not able to assign IP address to the genuine users because of this DHCP spoof MAC addresses. Okay. So the third point says it's like obviously it opens the door for a rogue DHCP server. Since this attacker PC is capable of generating the spoof MAC addresses, so this attacker is also capable of generating a rogue DHCP server. So it means like this laptop will act as a rogue DHCP server. Like it will act as a I am the DHCP server, and whenever the legitimate user request comes, and it will provide the IP addresses to the end user machine. Okay, this is similar to man in the middle. I will cover this topic more in detail in DHCP Snooping video, which will be uploaded after this. Okay, so that time we will go and dig more into this DHCP Snooping and other topics. So, is there any prevention technique? Yes, there are prevention technique which an engineer can apply. Okay, the first thing is like the engineer can enable a DHCP snooping on the L2 switch. This need to be enabled globally. Okay, and we will cover this in another video, more details. So the second thing is like port security. So on the L2 switch port, we can limit the MAC addresses, that only 2 to 3 MAC addresses should be entertained. Not more than that MAC addresses are required Okay, so we can just create a port security, and I will be doing a lab for this port security where we will be checking what are the commands which we can run on this switch port. Okay, the third way is the static IP addressing, the best way. If you have a critical server in your network, and if you think that whenever it reboots or it, something goes wrong with this servers, so they should be getting the same IP address, then the best way is to assign the static IP addresses. Okay, and you can, like in case of printer also, you can assign a static IP addresses. If you are having a firewall, then you should make sure that management doesn't work on DHCP, because whenever we do a reboot, so it will get the new IP addresses. You might lose the access of the management. So make sure like critical devices should be having a static IP addresses, the best way. The fourth way is like NAC solutions. So in the market, I believe there are a number of NAC solutions, ClearPass, Cisco Eyes, and which will help, like it will authenticate the device before they get access to the network. Okay, so before, so what will happen, like it will prevent unauthorized devices from sending the DHCP request. Okay, which is the goal of us, right? So yes, so I have covered this theoretical topic. Now let's move to the topology. If you see, router R1 is there, and I have L2 switch and two PCs, and they are connected each other. And okay, in the console section I have the router R1. I have not done any configuration here. The basic configuration is of DHCP. If you see, I have excluded the DHCP, these addresses from 1 to 100. It should not be provided to the end user machine. I have given the pool name, which is LAN users, and I have defined the network from 1.0 till 255. This is the pool which I have defined, and what this PC should be getting, default router, the default gateway should be 192.168.1.1, and the DNS server should be 8.8. These are the settings which we can define. Okay, let me break this diagram to the left side, and I will just configure it. I believe I not configure the IP address, so configure it. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0, IP address 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255.0, and no shut. And we are done with this. Let me open the console of L2 switch. Okay, so in this L2 switch, what we will be doing, config T interface Ethernet 0/0 to, okay, my bad, interface range. First thing is no shut, switch port mode, access, switch port, access, VLAN, 10, config T, VLAN 10, exit. So this attacker PC, okay, so this is connected to Ethernet 0/1. Let me configure this interface Ethernet 0/1, switch port, access, sorry, switch port security maximum to switch port security. We can do this. also. So I have restricted that two MAC addresses should be coming from this interface. Switch port, port security, violation, restrict, switch port, port security, MAC address sticky. So I believe here we are okay. Now let me capture this, start the capture. Yes, I want to capture it. Let me open this magnifying glass. I will just this PC also. So as we checked, as we have executed from 1 to 100 IP, so the PCs which will be sending the DHCP request, they should be getting the IP address above to 100. Okay, if you see here, show IP, not showing anything. Let's send the request. Okay, so you see DHCP discovered, then offer, then request, then acknowledge. So proper handshake is happening. And yeah, I got this IP address 101. Let me ping my default gateway 192.168.1.1. Yes, it is reachable. Okay, here. So if you see in the router side, let's see IP DHCP binding. Yeah, 101 this MAC address, and it's automatically assigned. Okay, so IP. So yes, I'll just finish this. So I have done this basic switch code configuration, which you can copy in your environment also. Okay, so I will be ending this video now. Thank you for watching. Bye everyone.